Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Johnna and I'm going to talk today about the Princess app. If you're new here, thank you for stopping by. And if you're coming back for a visit, I appreciate you so much. If you enjoy the video, please do me a favor and like, because that helps other people see the content. And if you haven't already, subscribe. I do content on casino and I also do content on cruise ships. I actually won a free cruise from my local casino, and that's kind of what got me started on doing the cruise ship. I went to the Mexican Riviera and on the Royal Princess, and I am going to Hawaii on the Emerald Princess. So, and I'm thinking of booking another one for next year. This is what you get. This is the medallion class, and the really nice thing about this is after you use it, it is like an air tag, and it's basically a magnet. And I just put this on my fridge, and that is a souvenir from the trip too. So that's really great if you want to save them. So I have that. I'll get another one for my next trip, which is 16 days around the Hawaiian Islands. I am so excited. But today what I really wanted to talk about was the Princess app. Because not only do they use this medallion technology that is wonderful. This is how you pay for things. This is how you get in your room, and you just wear it, or you can buy a different jewelry, watch, a necklace, but it comes with a lanyard. So you have that for your trip, but they also have the Princess app, which is on your phone, and everything you need to do is going to be on that. So I want to go over the app because there's a lot of things on the app that kind of slip by and you don't know about. So the first thing you want to do is download, if you're going to go on a Princess cruise, download the app. But as soon as you book the trip, you want to make sure you download it. Once you have the app, there are so many things you can do. So I would say just scan through it and get familiar with it. But one of the things you do is you fill out it's basically like a check-in. You put your identification, passport, you put your credentials in, you can do your dining, you can purchase your packages, or at least scan through and see what the packages are about, what's included in the packages, and then you can do excursions and spa treatments. You can do all this from the app on the ship, but you can also do it before you get on the ship. So some of it you want to do right away. So as soon as you book your trip, the one thing you do want to do is fill out your passport information, your identification information, and then you want to do your dining, because the dining fills up. If you wait till you get on the ship or close to the sail date, you're going to have either no dining selection or really poor dining selection. Now, if you don't want sit-down dinner every night, you don't have to do it. I book it every night the same time, and there's a checkbox that you can do to make sure you get it every night the same time. The longer you wait, the harder that is because the slots are filling up. But I got my same time every night. That way I just know when it is. The other thing is you don't have to go. I went out of my 7-night cruise that I just got off of, I went 3 nights. The other 4 nights I didn't go because I was either doing something, got in late from an excursion, wanted to see a show, or something was going on that I didn't want to go to that dinner. So it's purely of your choice. You can decide not to go. If you don't show up within 15 to 20 minutes, you lose your reservation and it becomes open seating. So go ahead and get familiar with the app, but you can pick what dining room. Now, most ships have 2 or 3, most have 3, I think, dining rooms. 1 is a walk-in and 2 are for reservation only. But you can still walk in, I believe, because if someone doesn't show up for the reservation, it opens that up. Is you want to fill out what dining room you want to go to and see where they are in the ship. Some are easier to access than others. Now, I personally picked one that is kind of hard to access. There's, on the Royal class, there are dining rooms that are in the aft of the ship that you can only get to by going to the 7th level and then taking the stairs or the aft elevator to the 6th. Because kitchen is in that middle section, and there's a dining room on one side and a dining room on the other side, and no access through unless you're a crew member. I actually picked the one that's in the app that's harder to get to and harder to find because, well, a couple of reasons. One, it's usually just less crowded and hectic because you can't really get to it very easily. And the other thing is, being in the app, they have the windows all around the sides plus in the back. So there's a lot more window seating, a lot more window visual. And the other ones are in kind of the center of the ship. So there's windows on maybe either side or one side, but they aren't as many from what it seems to me. Now, when I get on there, I may find it totally different, but I thought it would be better to use and less people going to it because it's not that easy to access. So you're going to select the dining room you want, and then you're going to select the time you want. Some of them are every like 20 minutes you can select a time, and then, or I think it's like every 15 or 20 minutes they have time slots, and you select that time slot, and then you can put you want it for every day. If it's available every day, it'll slot you in for that. I was able to get mine every day because I did it as soon as I booked, and I booked about 6 months out. You don't have to get it every day, but for me, I found it's just easier to know what time my dinner reservation is. When you're on the cruise, you lose track of days and times and everything else. So if I at least know that my dinner time is 6 o'clock, say, then I will be there at 6 o'clock if I decide to go. And you want to take in account for shows. If you're going to go to shows, there's normally 2 shows, one at 7 or 7:30 and one at 9 or 9:30. Excursions, if you're going to be going on excursions and getting in late in the afternoon before the ship sails, you may want to have a later time. You may want early dining. You know, whatever your preference is, do it as soon as you book. You can also pick kind of the location of the table. So I put down that I wanted a private table, and you can do a group seating. So you can do private where you'll sit alone at the table, or you'll be put at a table where maybe there's 8 people and you're one of 8 people. Now, my seating last time was, it was private, but I mean, I wasn't totally alone because it was a bench seat and then chairs on one side, and I had someone sitting at the table right next to me on either side. And on the one side, I got to know them pretty well because that was their dining time. And on the other side, it seemed to be walk-in people. So I don't know if it was nobody was showing up for that reservation, or if it was just a table that was available that they didn't book. So you can pick that. So I picked private. You're always around people. It's not that you're antisocial if you want private, but for me, I want just private dining. I may want to eat fast and get out of there. I might want to eat slow. I just don't want to have a commitment to every night going to sit with a group of people. And yeah, you get to meet people, and if that's what you want to do, if that's how you want to meet people, then that's great. You can do group seating. But anyway, private or group. And then the location. Now, I put location. You can put no preference. If you need like a handicap, easy access, or if you want it by the entrance, so up close to where you go in and out of the dining room, or I don't know if that's just easier access for people, but then there's handicap access and window. I put window. Now, at night, you can't really see out the window so much because it's dark out there. But at any rate, I put window because that's where I want to sit. You may not want to sit by a window because you might get seasick and think, I don't want to be by a window. So there's that. Okay. And then you can put down your dining pace. So do you want slow dining pace or relaxed dining pace or fast dining pace? A lot of people want to get to that show, so they want fast. I want to get my food, I want to get in, I want to get out. I don't want to dilly-dally and take a long time. I put relaxed because I don't want slow. I don't want to be there for hours on end. Anyway, you can put down your pace. Then there's other things that you may want to do. Depending on you, there is dietary needs. So you can put if you have a vegan diet or a vegetarian diet, if you have gluten-free allergies, and if you have alcohol-free, dairy intolerance, diabetic, if you want kosher. So you might be allergic to seafood or peanut or tree nuts or eggs or whatever. If you are allergic, you can also put that in, your allergens. So the type of diet you have, are you vegetarian? And I don't put anything because I am not anything. I'll eat pretty much I'll order what I want, but I don't really have a intolerance to anything. And I don't need to put that I want it kosher or diabetic or anything like that. If you have allergies, you're going to want to put that, so they know. And, wheat, gluten, whatever to do. And you want to do this right away just so you don't have to worry about if you've done it or not. Don't wait until you're there and you have to tell the waiter that you want, dairy-free. Do it right away and then it'll just happen. You can assure that they know it, but they probably will mention it to you if it's on the itinerary. Then another thing you can do is set up your room. Do you want the bed split or do you want them put together? And right now, that's all I have. But I know as I got closer last time, I got to where I could request a robe in the room. That's not on there yet. And I know it wasn't on last time until about a week before I sailed. And I just came upon it because I was always on the app checking it out. Then there's a couple other things. If you have any handicap like hearing, if you're deaf or you have hearing loss, or if you have no hearing problem. Vision, same thing. If you have vision problems, low vision or blind or what have you, you can put that in. So they just know, for whatever reason, if, I don't know, maybe in your room you leave things in a certain spot, if you're blind. But anyway, they know that. Then you can put in-cabin amenities, okay? Now, the one I put was a hand shower sprayer, okay? Handheld shower head. You can also put, if you want to rise a higher toilet, if you want a shower stool, and if you need a bed rail. Now, I don't know on some of these if they would need to move you or just install it, but they do have some rooms where that's accessible. So I'm not sure. The handheld shower head I put, and I got it last time. Now, I don't know if it just happened to be in my room, but I had a handheld, and so I've heard of people wanting that and not having it and asking the room steward when they got there if they could have that switched out, and they did put a work order in and do it within a day or so. So that is something if you need it done. But this just helps putting this in ahead of time. If there is something that needs to be changed out, they'll be able to do it. I'm sure they don't have a ton of handheld shower things to install, so you may not get it if someone else orders it and they only had 2 and, there are no more left when you order it. So order it ahead. And that's just something you can do in the app. Your personal information, that's really the first thing you want to do, is put in your passport, your citizenship, your travel document. You can put your payment method. Now, with your payment method, I'm not really sure how this works because I had a couple cards on my payment method because I was doing everything through a card, but even my casino play, which next time I will do in cash because the card, I mean, it worked and everything fine, but there are limits, and I didn't have a high limit card on there, so it'll tell you that you don't have enough money on there, even if you have 3 cards on there, because it will only do 1 card. You can put more than 1, but for some reason, they don't cash out your account until you leave, or the last day. So what I did was I went down with my ATM and I just made a cash deposit to my account to lower it, so then my card could cover the balance. So if you're going to spend a lot of money on a ship, or because your gratuities are coming off, anything you buy or purchase is coming off if you use your medallion. If you get room service, or if you go to specialty dining, any of that stuff's all going to be on there. And then they just get your card approved for the amount. I thought I could use more than 1 card, like I said. So anyway, cash is king. I'll have cash I did have cash for tipping. I took out a couple $100, so I had cash so I could hand tip people. But I did not know that they were only going to run 1 card, and they don't process anything through, because I said, well, just process it, and they go, well, we don't process it till the end. So I said, okay, well, can I put cash on the account? And they said, yeah. So that's what I did. So just a heads up on that, if that even becomes an issue for you. Then your contact information and emergency contact. You want to have all that on there so they know. There are a couple other things on there. And once you do that, then you'll be able to order your medallion, because once you have all that personal information and you've signed the contract that you understand the rules or whatever, then you can order your medallion. There's also a chat feature on there that you can talk to guest services. Now, you can't do that until you're on the ship, but you want to know that if you want to, you can call from your phone in the room, but on your app, on your phone, you can actually talk to guest services and say, hey, I had whatever, I need more towels in the room, or whatever it is. And guest services will be able to help you. Or if you have an issue, you can contact them that way. And you can also contact other guests in your party, or if you meet somebody and they want to give you their information. But if you're traveling with other people, you can chat with them on the Wi-Fi from the ship. And it will also tell you where everyone is. This medallion actually does track you wherever you are on the ship. So you can find somebody in your party, and also the ship, they know where you are. When you leave and go to port, you scan this and they know you're off the ship. And then when you come back on, you scan it. And that's how they keep track of, is everyone on the ship and are you safe? Which for me, I think it's a really good, because if something were to happen, they'd be able to track down where you were. So that's another essential thing to get when you do it. About a week before you sail, you'll get your boarding pass on there. You'll be able to print out your luggage tags right from the app. And at that time, I believe you can request a robe in the room. And it also will keep saying what your check-in time is. And I know I've noticed a lot of people having questions about, well, it says my check-in, I don't know, it's the day before and they still don't have a check-in time for me. Well, recently, I believe, Princess did away with check-in time. So you're not going to get one unless they go back to it. But right now, there is no check-in time. The app does say check-in time hasn't been processed yet or something like that. But there is no check-in time. So you can go as soon as it's available. So I would say 10:30 is usually when they start check-in, and people are usually there early. And then it goes to like 1 or maybe 2. But you don't want to be late, because the ship will leave. The ship will leave without you. And then you can track your current and past journeys on here. You can also go to Princess Air through here, and it'll take you to princess.com, and there's a phone number, so you can either call them for Princess Air if you want to book through them. Now, I know a lot of people say it's cheaper just to book your flights on your own. I've Google searched and looked for flights, and my flight was actually cheaper through Princess Air last time. Now, the nice thing about Princess Air, I didn't have to deal with it, but they do guarantee that if your flight gets canceled or something happens, they guarantee that they'll get you to the ship. So if your flight gets canceled, you have to notify them right away, and they either get you on another flight or something to get you there in time. But the other thing that I noticed was, well, for me, you should go a day ahead of time. I didn't last time, and I worried about it like it was just top of mind all the time. So it's not worth the stress of worrying if you're going to get there and nothing's going to happen. The flight's not going to be delayed or, whatever. And so they guarantee they'll get you to the port. But here's the thing. If I'm going to Hawaii, they're going to fly me to Hawaii. Okay, yeah, that'd be great. But I have like 5 days at sea. So when are they flying me to Hawaii? And do I have to get a room in Hawaii because the ship's not there yet? Or how does that whole thing work? And that's half my trip, getting over to Hawaii. So I don't really want that on this one. So I will fly in a day ahead. I've already been pricing hotel rooms. Now they use IHC or whatever hotel group. And so I know about what my hotel will cost. I know what hotel has a free shuttle to the cruise ship, and another one has one at cost. It was hectic last time because our shuttle was very late and passed us by a couple times. It was a nightmare, and I got there so early thinking I'd be one of the first ones on the ship, and I think I was one of the last ones, and I had my medallion already. So it was just a nightmare for me. But anyway, once I got on the ship, I was fine. But Princess Air, and my flight was fine. Everything was fine. My flight, they greeted me. The Princess people greeted me, all that. It was the shuttle that, they use a third-party shuttle. And the shuttle going, when I disembarked and went from the cruise ship to the airport, they're there waiting for you. So that was not a problem. But the one at the airport, that it goes through all the different airlines and picks people up, and I guess they just passed us by. They didn't see us. Oh no, it wasn't they didn't see us. There was nowhere for them to pull over because there were other vehicles there. I don't know. That doesn't really make sense to me. But anyway, so that was a catastrophe. So I looked at hotels that actually have shuttles. If I'm going to go in a day ahead of time, rather than going back to the airport, if my hotel is close to the ship, then I can just get a shuttle from the hotel to the ship, because the airport's about 20-30 minutes away from the port. So I don't want to go all the way back to the airport and then all the way back to the ship. I will double check. If it's cheaper for me to do it on my own, I'll just do it on my own. But it may be cheaper to go through Princess Air, and then, like I said, you have that guarantee. I've never had to deal with it, so I don't know how well it works out. The other thing you can't do on the app that you're going to want to do the minute you get on the ship, if it's something you want, is service at sea, and that's where you will get service for $14.99, I believe. You get service anywhere on the ship. So if you're sitting by the pool and you don't want to get up and leave your chase lounge, you can order a burger or pizza or whatever, and they will deliver it to you, or a cold drink or ice cream, whatever, and they will deliver it to you. And the other thing, and that's good, that $14.99 is good for the whole trip. So for me, that's a big deal, because I'm on a 16, so that's like $1 a day, and I have free service. And it also works for room service, so you won't have a room service fee. You just have your gratuity for your attendant. And if you order anything that's not complimentary on the menu, I'm sure there are some things that aren't on the menu that you can buy. But if you order anything that's on the complimentary part of the menu, then you won't have a charge for it. You just have your tip because you've already paid for the room service. Otherwise, I think room service is $5 each time, but I'm not sure about that. And then the other thing you want to book is if you want to do the sanctuary, which is an adult only area, and it's you pick either a chair or a cabana or a chase lounge or what have you. The chase lounges are $20 for a half day and $40 for a full day, and I've talked about this in my videos because I love it. You are at the front of the ship and you're overlooking the ocean, and it's wonderful. Some of the places are in the shade, some are in the sun. If you get there early enough, you can pick. They usually fill up pretty darn fast. If you don't go there the first day or right away on the first day, you probably, I was lucky because I'm a single person. I'm going solo. So to get a spot isn't as hard as if you go as a couple or a group and then you want to be all together. So anyway, they do have cabanas. I don't know the pricing of those, but the seating is $40 a day, 20 for a half day, and I believe if you do it for the whole journey, it's 30 a day. So you do get a discount if you do it every single day, if that's what you want to do. I'm not going to do it every day, but it is nice. I do the afternoon because in the afternoon at 2 or 3, they come by with tea, and they have little sandwiches and, pastry and tea, or I think I got coffee, but yeah, it's really nice. So, and they wait on you anyway. I mean, even before the tea, if you want that, when you first get there, they ask you if you want anything to drink or if you want anything to eat, and they give you a menu and they'll get the food and deliver it to you. Then I know I was just laying there, I was dozing, and they came by and said, "It's tea time," and I'm like, oh my God. It's just, I don't know, you really do feel special in there. And but they come by with infused water, or they'll come by a couple of times and say, "Did you need some water?" And the nice thing is you can go for a swim or you can go do whatever in that chase lounge during the hours that you've reserved. It is yours and no one's going to take it. So, and they're very comfortable padded chase lounges, and like I said, they're looking out the front of the ship at the ocean, and it's very like sanctuary. It's very peaceful and relaxing, and they have nice music being piped in. So I do highly recommend it. I probably shouldn't push it so much because I don't want to fill up. It already fills up pretty fast, but yeah. So if that's something you want to do, and I believe that's on deck 17 or 18 front, and it's right by, there's an adult pool that is not, you don't have to pay for. A lot of people think it is still a paid area of the sanctuary, but there is a pool up there just below it, and then you go up to the sanctuary, and it is, so it's right next to the adult pool, and you can go to the adult pool or jacuzzis and then go back to your chase lounge. So I highly recommend this sanctuary, but everyone has a different thing for the voyage. I love Princess. I love the activities that go on all day. So many activities. There are no slides. There are no rides. There isn't all that going on, but that's not really what I want. I like the engage, the games, the trivia, the dancing. They'll do the line dancing, the hula. I'm sure going to Hawaii, they'll be teaching. And they have a lot of music throughout the ship if you want to go listen to jazz or something more lively. They have several areas throughout the ship that you can listen to music and relax and have a good time. And then, of course, your ports. So it depends on what you want in the ship. For me, I'm not at a time in my life where I care if there's a water slide. So anyway, that is my take on the app. If you have any questions, I'm sure there's things I've missed. Or if you get on the app and you have difficulty with anything, you can go ahead and text me through I check all my messages and everything or comments in the comment. You can leave a comment, even if it's 6 months from now. I check, it'll flag me if there's a comment, and I respond to all of them. So if you have any questions, you have any difficulty, and there is something I can help you with, because I am still finding new things all the time, but I go in there and I really look around. It also tells you when you first open the app how many days until embarkation. And it's really fun to watch those days click away, and they start going faster and faster as you get close to it. And then it's today, it'll say embarkation today, and you're like, oh my God, it's happening. So anyway, Princess app, you want to make sure you download it, because you are going to need it on your journey, and have a great time. All right, you guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video if you want. I'll see you in the next one. Okay, here's a couple screenshots I thought might be helpful to people. There's the Princess Plus and the Princess Premier, and it does tell you everything that's included in that and the cost depending on what ship you're on. The newer ships do cost $5 more a day, and it does cost more if you wait until you get on board. So I do have a video coming out that explains everything about the Princess Plus and Premier, and if it's right for you or not, and if the cost makes sense. Then there's all the food, if you have your allergies or all that. I made some screenshots of that. You also have your spa treatments. Now, I didn't mention this, but as far as the spa treatments go, I don't think that you really want to book a spa treatment before you get on, unless it's something you want a specific time or whatever, and it's really important to you, because they run a lot of specials on the spa. So like on port days, they don't get as many people going to the spa, so they'll run specials. They do giveaways. They seem to be always trying to get you on a spa special. So with that, you may want to wait until you're on the ship, and if a good deal comes up, then book it. There's also the excursions. Those do fill up, so if you want to take a princess excursion, you do want to book it before you get on the ship. And the other thing is with that is they also guarantee they'll get you back to the ship, where a third party can't really give you that guarantee. Then your specialty dining, like we talked about in the video, that is pretty much a must, because if you don't book that specialty dining, you're going to have a hard time when you get on the ship. You can check every day for cancellations, but I know the specialty dining, especially since the Princess Premier includes unlimited specialty dining, people with that are going to be booking a lot of specialty dining. Yeah, that's about it. Hopefully these screenshots help you in some way, but you can get on your app, and you will see also another thing that's really handy, I think, is it gives you the layout of the ship. So when you're booking, that's one thing you really want to check, is what is the layout of the ship, because I don't want to have a pool above me, my cabin. I don't want to have a dance, or I don't want to have the theater. So you want to know where you are on the ship and what is around you, above you, below you, next to you, and that will help you with your room selection. Also, if you decide to put a bid in for a room, I go on the Princess app and I see what rooms are still available on the ship, because there are some that are harder for them to fill, and they will try to move you to one of those. So, use the app, use the princess.com, and you will be safe. Okay, you guys, I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.